And we are live.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Carly Reigart, and I am the Children's Services Coordinator here at the Enoch Pratt Free Library. We have a wonderful event for you this evening, and we're so glad you could be here. Now, before we begin, I did just want to share a few quick library announcements. The first one being that the library is open and we would love to see you. Please come visit your closest Pratt branch. We're doing all sorts of programs, offering collections and books, and we'd really love to see you at the library. Also, tomorrow is April 1st, and it's the kickoff for our Imagination Celebration. And that is a program for ages 0 to 5, where we're going to celebrate children's creativity and imagination with all sorts of activities throughout the month, including live music events, story times, and so much more. But tonight we are here to kick off National Poetry Month with an exciting celebration featuring 3 local poets who are going to share their works, but then also talk a little bit about programs we have coming up for kids and teens at the Pratt Library later on in April. So the events are going to take place at the Southeast Anchor Library on Monday, April 6th at 3:30 p.m., the Edmondson Avenue branch on Monday, April 11th at 4 p.m., and the Hamilton branch on Tuesday, April 19th at 3 p.m. And if you have any questions about these programs, please feel free to put them into the comments or the chat. We'd love to answer them. But without further ado, I would like to introduce tonight's special guests. The first one is Jha'Neal Blue. She is an actress, spoken word artist, and educator in the greater Baltimore area. She is the head coach of the Baltimore City Youth Poetry Team and is a proud member of the original team that went on to win the International Brave New Voices competition. We also have Gail Danley, and Gail is a former national and international poetry slam champion. She conducts poetry workshops throughout the Baltimore City school system, and she also uses her poetry to help people who are struggling to handle the loss of a loved one. And last but not least, we have Shinier Wright. She is a multi-award-winning poet, fiction writer, essayist, singer, and visual artist. She is the author of Black Fairy Tales, which was recently turned into a captivating stage play. She is a 2-time recipient of the prestigious Adele V. Holden Creative Writing Prize and Award, and the recipient of the Academic Excellence Award in Adolescent Fiction. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Shinier to get us started.
Hi, everyone. So excited to be here. We're ending Women's Month and going into Poetry Month. So something about me as artists and creators, we know that we're never stand alone. We always have like a long legacy of people that if they weren't there, like we wouldn't be able to do our art form. So whenever I start something, I really love to acknowledge the writers who came before me. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to ask Gail and Blue to unmute if you can, because I need your ashes. I'm going to call upon some writers who are no longer with us, and I'm going to ask you to say ashe. So ashe is a word, a West African word that pretty much means, and so it is, giving power, acknowledging their presence, bringing their energy into the space. So Maya Angelou, ashe.
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 Antasaki Shange, ashe.
Ashe.
James Baldwin,
Ashe.
Ashe.
Zora Neale Hurston,
Ashe.
Ashe.
Langston Hughes,
Ashe.
Bell Hooks,
Ashe.
Ashe.
Toni Morrison,
Ashe.
Ashe.
Bob Marley,
Ashe.
Ashe.
Baltimore, so Tupac,
Ashe.
Fela Kuti,
Ashe.
Sojourner Truth.
Ashe.
Ashe.
And if either of you have any writers that you feel like influence you, you can say it.
Patricia Smith.
Ashe,
Maya
Blue.
Angelou.
Ashe.
Ashe.
And then we ended with 3 ashes and then a long O, okay? Ashe, ashe, ashe. So I'm Shinier, and I do creative storytelling, and I use poetry as a means of healing. Like something I'm always telling my students is better out than in. Like a lot of illnesses, a lot of stress. It's just really unexpressed emotions. Like when they were reading Gail's bio, they spoke about like using poetry for grief. So I won't say specialize, but one of the major things I do is I like to use art to deal with those difficult topics, those uncomfortable topics. And poetry is really about being like allowing yourself to be uncomfortable and not being scared of making other people uncomfortable. And this first piece that I'm going to share is dedicated to a student of mine. So I was a Baltimore City teacher for years. In Baltimore, like it's never just about the teaching. It's never just about the curriculum. Like a lot of my students have deal with all types of things, whether it's divorce, sadness, trauma, and sometimes you lose the very student themselves. And that's what this is. I knew a black little boy. I knew a black little boy. I knew a black little boy. And he died tragically. I knew a black little boy. He didn't even live to 17. I once knew a young black joker named Jack, and his skin was dark as spades. And his streets held him and his friends tight in its palm, like a poker player holds its pairs. And late at night, it's like our block takes the stage and says to death, pick a card, any card. And death plucked Jack from his deck. It's all hood entertainment. We call it black boy magic. One day our teens are here with us and then poof, they disappear. Lives sawed in half. Their sagging jeans look like magician's robes. The bullets kissed our princes and transformed them into corpses, black boy magic. The shows are so sold out and so commonplace that people don't even bother to look up from their phones to watch the souls leave the body. We all just feel wrapped in a black sorcerer's cape in an enchanted, haunted forest. And if you look up, you could see all the black boy spirits flying above the city like wizards on broomsticks. And I stand here reciting these words, trying to break the hex of this black boy magic, this black boy magic, this black boy magic, this black boy magic. I knew a black little boy. I knew a black little boy. I knew a black little boy, and he died tragically. I knew a black little boy. He didn't even live to 17. Thank you.
Thank you, Shinier.
Yes, that was amazing. I almost cried just a little bit. Like I've heard that piece before, but like it touches you differently every time. Well, each time. So yeah.
I don't think I'd ever heard that. And I'm jealous, Shinier, that you can sing. Because I think I think most poets wish they could, you know what I mean? Like we're like wannabe singers. But I think it just adds so much cream to your work when you bring that extended voice into it.
Thank you.
You hopping in next, Blue, or me? I'm cool either way.
I can hop in. Okay, so hey everybody. It's kind of odd because I'm used to like that interaction of seeing you all and seeing your expressions and hearing what you have to say, but it doesn't change. So as they've said before, my name is Jha'Neal Blue. I was an international youth poetry slam champion. I was a part of the Baltimore City Youth Poetry team back in 2016. And just last year, I became the Baltimore City Youth Poetry team's head coach. And last year, I would say last summer, we went to the largest international youth poetry competition, Brave New Voices. And I'm proud to say that our team won second place in the entire world. And so I'll get on by saying that poetry for me, especially as a youth, it was a way for me to escape reality at times. I think any creative medium allows the individual to venture to other places. And for me, poetry allowed me to talk about what I felt like a lot of adults didn't care about in my daily life, right? So going to school, if you have a little job at school, or if you have a job that's outside of school, if you've had an argument with a friend, or even if you've had a good day, I felt like whenever I went home, no one really asked me, how was your day, right? Or they may ask you, but you don't really believe that folks are listening to you. Like you're hearing me, but are you really listening to what I'm saying? And you can always gauge whether or not someone is truly listening based on their response, right? And so when I found slam poetry, it was this new platform that all of a sudden these adults wanted to hear what I had to say, right? And it was creative, it was new, it made me feel like I was a part of a sport. Right? A lot of people don't believe that we're athletes for the stage, but you really have to have, you have to have that stamina. You have to have breath control. You have to have, presence on stage, especially as a slam poet. Now, not everybody likes to get into the slam poetry side. So in my workshop, we're going to explore, both writing and performance poetry. And so this short piece that I have for you first is I took experiences from my childhood that I thought that you all might be able to relate to. And some of you might find that you can't relate to it. But that's the thing about, just who we are as individuals. We all have a different experience in life. And that's what I want us to bring to the workshop. So my poem, it is untitled. And I'll just start it. As dawn broke the black sky, I woke up to no hot water and cold oatmeal. The power had gone out. My father cursed. The water heater had gone up again, but still I got dressed and ready for school. And I think this is a good time to pass it on to Gail.
I was about to lay back into the cut, Like,
you breaking it into, I see what's going on.
I'm
breaking it into 3 pieces.
I got you. I'm feeling water heater as a title.
Right. I was in the oatmeal, like I was late. You know how when a poem is really nice and thick, right? You kind of settle into it like you by the fire. Okay, all right, Blue. So we got a part 2. Okay, I ain't mad. If you want to do it well, do it. Over and over and over and over and over and over. Hit that ball. Miss that ball. Where that ball? That ball. Over and over and over and over. Cut that move. Bleed that move. See that move? Be that move. Be that move. Make that cake over and over and over. Taste that cake. Toss that cake. Boss that cake. Make that A. Fake that A. A. Shake that A. A. Fail. Because failing is the new black. Lose and lose, almost, no, cope. You so dope. Love that man, paint that wall orange. Kiss that daughter, rehearse that apology, memorize that humility, fake that confidence until it breaks through your scalp. Win again, bounce that orange pie till it cooks on your palm, play that piano till your fingers become white keys, maybe black. Smile till you win the pageant. Your goal is to be in the movies when the light comes on. Ain't no popcorn left. Because you know what, baby? It's time to chew. What I really want us to dive into in my session with you, and thank you for being here, Tanya. Thank you, to Tanya. I want us to dive into the basics. I mean, sometimes we get so far ahead of ourselves as writers, as dancers, as painters, that we forget the basics. So I just want to take it slow in my workshop and say, okay, step one, what you do when you get the idea? Step two, what you do with the idea? Step three, how do you dazzle, razzle, dazzle, sparkle the idea? How do you deepen the idea? And then step four, how do you speak the idea so that your audience is following you to the bathroom? They cannot get enough of your funky stuff because your poem was so raw and so real and so unrhyming, just so perfectly you, that they can't get enough. I'm having so much fun. Is it time to toss it back over to the creamy, gorgeous Shinier? Or should we stop here and see if Tanya might have a question of us?
Okay. All I know is I want to paint my wall orange. That's all I know.
That whole basketball thing, because I got 2 boys, so that whole basketball thing. Tanya, I'm just wondering if you have anything you want to say or to ask. If not, Shinier, it's you, it's yours.
I just want to say to Tanya, cousin, we got the same last name, you feel me? Okay. Brown skin. I really love my brown skin. Don't know why you think it's a sin. Because I love my brown skin. Men will say, you are so pretty for a dark-skinned girl, as if they have shockingly found a beautiful roach or an attractive maggot or gorgeous pus or an exotic curse, as if that phrase could ever be a compliment, as if a dark beauty could be an exception to a rule. The attraction is the darkness is the attraction, not its handicap. Brown skin. You know I love my brown skin. I don't know why you think it's a sin. I love my brown skin. Thank you. The muted fun. Zoom is so weird, but thank you. I can feel the love. So, as I love various arts, so in the workshop, like we're doing creative storytelling. So it's about using all the tools at our disposal. So for me, like Gail was like, oh, I wish I could sing. Like, but we all have all these different things outside of poetry that we bring to our work. Like we all don't have the same experiences. We don't have the same tools. So in the workshop, we'll be talking about like, what is it in our lives that we can use to create this work? In terms of experience, and also things like personification, objectification, and hyperbole, and metaphors and similes, using all these things to tell the stories. Even sometimes you can have an identical story, you can have a twin and still have a unique story. So we'll be figuring all those things out in the workshop, having fun, maybe crying, but the good kind of tears, the kind of tears that makes it go from outside of the body to the outside. Again, better out than in. So it's going to be healing. It's going to be fun. And I'm passing it again to my blue. We both, that's my blue. That's all I'll say.
I'm Shinier's blue. Okay, I'm Shinier's blue. Okay, so this is an insight that those of us on this personal Zoom know, that I took this one poem and I broke it up into 3 parts. But I'll do something special so that you don't forget what was presented first. Okay. So as dawn broke the black sky, I woke up to no hot water and cold oatmeal. The power had gone out. My father cursed. The water heater had gone up again, but still, I got dressed and ready for school. The next day, I did what I normally do. Brushed my teeth, my hair. Thank goodness I ironed my clothes the night before. Then my mother left for work and it was left up to me to play matriarch. It was a WWE match getting my sisters ready for school. Sleep had my eyes in a chokehold. By the time I walked them to school and dropped my baby sister off at daycare, I felt like I had been dipped in the Atlantic Ocean. I smelled like the grilled onions someone had for breakfast at the daycare. I wanted to cry, but still, I got myself together and ready for school.
Okay. That's imagery. Right? I smelled those onions.
You know, I smelled them too when I was writing this piece. I was like, okay. Yeah, that day I can recall. Isn't it interesting that you can smell something or see something or hear something, and it just reminds you of a day in your past, like or a very specific moment or an experience that you had. And so that's what I want us to do. Like, even in our workshop, you don't have to recall, what your day was like yesterday. We can go back years, right? If you remember something from being 3 years old, let's talk about it. One of the big things that I said is when I was younger, I felt like no one was listening to me. No one really cared about what I was going through. And I want for us to start off by having a discussion. Let's just talk to each other. Right? We're so caught up on our devices, on our phones. We're talking through Instagram, but half of that stuff isn't even real. It's cute. It's fun. But you're missing out on that interaction, right? With the human being next to you. And so that's what I want us to start off with. Just a really good discussion about, like, tell me about your day. Tell me about your yesterday. Tell me about your last year. And you never know what experiences the person next to you may have had and how they came through that experience and how their lesson can help you, right? You'll miss that. You'll miss your blessing just by being distracted by other things.
I wonder if the pandemic, it messed us up, but I wonder if it messed us up in some emotional ways too, because we got so used to being alone and having to occupy ourselves and keep ourselves from losing it, that I wonder if we kind of forgot a little bit of the human touch. How many of the social skills did we lose, during those 2 years of isolation? So I'm really seeing our sessions that will be at 3 different locations of the Pratt Library, 3 different days, 3 different locations. I'm really seeing it as an opportunity to really gather people around the campfire, the campfire poetry, and kind of reintroduce ourselves to each other.
Absolutely. No, you're spot on. I feel like, and the best part about this is I don't feel like there's a divide between myself. I won't disclose my age, but I don't think there's much of a divide between myself living as a young adult and the youth who will be joining us at these workshops, right? So I'll listen to your story, and then you get to listen to my story. We get to chop it up, right? Chop it up in ways that you don't get to do it at school. And so now I'm going to pass it back over to the lovely Gail.
What to do when tears threaten you with a sneak attack? Pretend you must blow your nose. Or yawn them away. Because right now you're in math class failing a quiz, so you can't drizzle from the eyes. Beat your chest. Rub your eyes. Doggone allergies. Shove the good memories up on stage. Scream. Let somebody make you laugh. Make somebody let you laugh. Sometimes, y'all, tears poke through the holes in our eyes. And there's just no time for them, no place for them, and no space for them. Mama's arms aren't always near. Sometimes pillows go cold. So when the sneak attack occurs, just run like crazy for the Kleenex. Always know the location of the Kleenex. Tilt your head toward the fluorescent lights and swallow. Save those tears for tonight. You ain't got time. Save those tears for the shower, where there will already be so much water coating your eyes. Save those tears for the bed. Because duh, what'd you think sheets were for? Let loose. When you're all by yourself, cry like a baby, or like somebody squeezed lemon juice on your eyes, or like your best friend said she doesn't like you anymore, like your cheeks are a desert, and man, I'm so glad I've got some water. Go ahead and cry like there's no tomorrow, because there really isn't. Cry then cover, cry then fake. This is the latest fashion, and you, baby, you wear it well.
Ashe.
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 Ashe. So many times, so much and so many times, I think one of the millions of things that has bonded Shinier and me is the fact that who have we both lost, Shinier? You know,
Mama.
our mamas, right? And I'm just learning, y'all, that after she's gone, you just kind of spend the rest of your life relearning how to walk, right? How to walk. Anyway, it is 6:28. I know Blue and Shinier, they are so busy, y'all. Shinier, tell them where you're about to step off into.
I had the honor of playing Intozaki Shange, who's one of my biggest idols, in a play called The Matriarch in Me. It's at Towson University. That's where I'm at now, their theater program. And they're partnering with arena players, so I'm very excited about that.
How long will that show be running?
It's this week. It's tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. Hey, thank you, Blue.
See if I can sneak out. You know what I want to do real quick before you all go? I just want to give you a little information. So Blue is going to be at the Southeast Anchor branch of the Pratt Library, April 6th at 3:30. And y'all, this is live and in the flesh. You get to see us. Yay. So April 6th, yay, 3:30 at the Southeast Anchor branch. Shinier is going to be at the Edmondson branch on April 11th. I hope you're writing this down, Tanya, at 4:00 in the evenings. Edmondson branch, Shinier, April 11th, 4:00. And yours very truly will be at the Hamilton branch. That's one of my favorite branches, April 19th at 3 p.m. That is that.
And I know I have to be going soon. I was wondering if I could close myself out by completing the poem.
I think, Blue, you can just close us all out unless Tanya has some questions or some concerns.
I saw something in the chat.
Oh yeah.
I see that. I guess Carly can take that question. Are all the details online? I would
Yes,
love to
they
hear.
are online. I know they're online. I've seen them.
Okay. Got it. Yes. Good. Do we want to tell Tanya so she's not spending a lot of time looking for it? Maybe exactly where? Good. Thank you. Okay, Blue.
All right. As dawn broke the black sky, I woke up to no hot water and cold oatmeal. The power had gone out. My father cursed. The water heater had gone up again, but still, I got dressed and ready for school. The next day, I did what I normally do, brushed my teeth, my hair. Thank goodness I ironed my clothes the night before. Then my mother left for work, and it was up to me to play matriarch. It was a WWE match getting my sisters ready for school. Sleep had my eyes in a chokehold. By the time I walked them to school and dropped my baby sister off at daycare, I felt like I had been dipped in the Atlantic Ocean. I smelled like the grilled onions someone had for breakfast at the daycare. I wanted to cry, but still, I got myself together and ready for school. The next day, I missed the bus. I had to walk 2 miles. My legs burned something serious. I watched as people who stopped at the light passed me in their cars. I wondered if they were going my way and why this world wasn't the kind of place you could take a ride from a stranger and not make the evening news. When I got to school, I was scolded in front of my class by my trunchbull of a teacher. She and I must have been having the same kind of day, except I had no authority to yell back at her. It seems I had left my science homework on my dresser, something I wouldn't have forgotten had I not played matriarch. I could feel the ocean in my clothes turning into an ocean on my face, and I tried to plead my case. But the souring smell of onions from the daycare still lingered on my damp shirt, and I didn't want to draw any more attention to myself. I went to lunch at noon and prayed that tomorrow would be much different from today. When I got home, I learned that my mother had lost her job and my father had caught a flat tire on the highway. Of course, everyone was too busy to ask me how my day went. That night, we boiled hot water on the stove to take a bath. I blew out the many candles that lit up our house like Christmas morning. Something about those candles told me to make a wish. What would you wish for if you were me? Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, this is how we do it.
This is how we do it. Yes, yes.
Poet. Yes,
Love,
women.
go
Yes.
in, poet.
Yes, yes, Pratt. Yes, Carly. Yes. Can we give Benjamin a hand too?
Yes.
The magnificent. Yes, Tanya. Tanya, please come to all 3 sessions and bring your friends. All right, y'all ready to hop off? I'm getting ready to come to Baltimore and host a slam for women of the word at the Roadhouse on North Avenue, but the tickets are all sold out. But anyway.
Okay, nice.
Yes, very nice.
I'll see you at the finals.
Okay, yep.
See you, everybody. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. I do not want to keep Shinier and Jha'Neal, who I know have to get going, but I did just want to plug their programs one more time. This was such a wonderful evening of poetry and so impactful. And I really hope you'll come see them and create your own poetry with us at our upcoming branches programs. So again, Jha'Neal will be at the Southeast Anchor Library on Wednesday, April 6th at 3:30 p.m. Shinier will be at the Edmondson Avenue branch on Monday, April 11th at 4 p.m. And Gail will be at the Hamilton branch on Tuesday, April 19th at 3 p.m. And we really hope to see you there. But until then, we wish you a fantastic night And we'll see you again soon at the library or at an upcoming program. Take care, everyone.
Thank
Have a
you.
great night.